Good morning, everyone. My name is Rhea, Chhaya, and today I want to talk about self-love. Now, self-love is such a common topic. It is so popularly preached, yet at the same time, it is so rare. People ask others to love themselves. People beg others to accept themselves for who they are. But when you look inside of how they feel about themselves, you see a universe of self-love. To test this, I took to Instagram to check how many people do love themselves. And out of 224 people, a mere number of 18 people said yes to the question, do you love yourself? So, as a child of about 6 years old, I genuinely thought I was the most gorgeous creature to have been created. I would strut around waiting for someone to make me a model. I used to practice poses in the mirror. I would strike them every night, and I would practice what I would call my award-winning smile. However, this towers of confidence that I had built up, it was so huge, I allowed them to be wrecked by an innocent comment. One day I was practicing to walk the ramp in front of my friends when one of them told me, "You're fat though. You can't become a model." I'll tell you this, I didn't cry. I didn't feel a twinge in my heart either. But that same night, when I tried to look at myself in the mirror, tried to pose, I couldn't. And let me tell you, I couldn't even think of beginning to smile. And for a very long time after that, I couldn't. For the next 6 years, all my pictures looked like that. I looked extremely scary, disappointed, and to be honest, a little disappointing as well. Now, after I realized that, okay, my weight is the problem. That's no big deal. I can just shed some weight. So I started to lose a lot of weight. But I was so hell-bent on losing it that I did it the wrong way. I stopped eating as much as I should have. I reduced the portions greatly. During my breaks, I would share my food with my friends till there was little to nothing left for me to eat. And much to my annoyance at the time, I have family and friends who never allowed me to overdo anything. So the process is pretty slow, but the change, as you can see, was pretty dire. It went to a point where people had to ask me if I had been through a shredder. People told me people told me I was malnourished. There was not a single piece of clothing in my cupboard that didn't make me look like I was drowning in it. Surprisingly though, it wasn't the comments that people made about how much weight I lost that made me realize I was doing the wrong thing. No. In fact, oddly enough, not many people even knew that I was dealing with self-hate. Now when you think about this, it's so worrying to know that the person sitting next to you, be it to your right, to your left, the person who lives under the same roof as you, could be dealing with something so taxing and so stressful. It is really worrying. Now, I'm not going to stand here and tell you to help without telling you how. How should one help? Firstly, don't shower them with compliments. Now, you may have noticed that some people just don't accept compliments. While this is annoying to you, you do have to understand that they aren't going to believe you, and it's not going to work. Don't waste their time, and don't waste yours. Secondly, and according to me, this is the most important, don't tell people that they're fishing for compliments. When I first opened up about my self-hatred, be it after I experienced it or during my experience, the first thing people told me was, "You know you're pretty. You're just trying to make me tell you that you are like one of the most attractive people I've seen." And I was honestly very confused because that is not what I was trying to do. I was trying to open up about how I felt. It felt like they were undermining my problem. Thirdly, don't compare my problem or the person's problem to anyone else's problems. I agree, global warming is a pertaining issue. I know there are people starving. But an individual's problem wrecks their own world. And if they have the guts to talk to you about it, please try to help them. Now enough of the don'ts, except for one more. Don't tell them to accept themselves. I'll give you an example. When you're angry and someone tells you to chill or to relax, at least for me, the first thing that comes into my mind is, wow, what a solution. Why didn't I think of that before? Chill? Oh my God. No, it doesn't help. You have to tell them how to relax maybe. Take a deep breath, it'll become better. The same way, if you tell a person who hates themselves to start to accept themselves, it's not going to work. Instead, try to help them understand. How? I'll give you an example. You come home with a 98 on 100 in your maths paper. You show it to your parents. This is common, I'm pretty sure of it. The first thing your parents say is, you're 2 marks away from 100. Why didn't you get 100? And the first thing you think is, I got a 98. What about those 98 marks that I earned? The same way, that exact same way is how you should explain to a person who hates themselves that yes, you do have flaws. Yes, you did lose 2 marks. But you have 98 marks that you earn. You have strengths in you which you should focus on. So, when I started hating myself, I fell into a hole that was so deep and so dark that I obviously damaged myself mentally, but I completely ruined my physical appearance. And this is going to make some people cringe, but I started to pluck my hair to a point where I started balding. That obviously ruined my physical appearance completely. But even worse was when it was growing. While it was growing, I looked absolutely horrible. However, it's okay now. But the fact that I had to go through something so taxing, the fact that I put myself through something where I made myself look like such a mess, meant that I needed help. Now, let's get back to what made me realize I was doing the wrong thing. What made me realize I was doing the wrong thing was one of my friends telling me, hey, I want to look like you. It shocked me, it confused me, but it made me realize. She wanted to look like me. I wanted to look like him. He wanted to look like her. And it was an annoying, never-ending cycle, which I wanted to get out of. I didn't want to be in the cycle anymore. So I decided I would try. I tried my level best. I watched videos, I listened to speeches, and let me tell you, they didn't help. I didn't wake up the next morning and say, now I'm in love with myself. But what it did make me realize was that I wasn't alone, in 2 aspects. Firstly, I was not the only one facing this problem. Secondly, I had amazing family and amazing friends who would help me no matter what. Now, I want to talk to those who hate themselves, those who are experiencing self-loathe, and I need you to not hear me, I need you to listen to me. In the process of healing, I realized a few things. Firstly, that I blamed everyone. I blamed that girl for making me start hate myself. I blamed everyone for not noticing that I was going through this time alone. But the fact of the matter is that I never told anyone that I was facing a problem. I dropped hints and clues and waited for people to pick them up and fix me. But it's not their fault they didn't notice. How are they to know? Taking ownership, taking the blame for something, helps you learn from mistakes because you acknowledge that you make mistakes and you become a better person. Secondly, look at the positives and be grateful. So what I did is I used to note down things that made me grateful every single day. Now that must have gotten some mental eye rolls or some physical eye rolls, and I understand why. In fact, I felt extremely odd doing this myself. But today, as I stand here, ungratefulness is extremely foolish to me. Why? Because there are so many other things that you should be grateful for. And while noting down what to be grateful for per day, it helped me notice the positive aspects of myself as well. Thirdly, most importantly, make an effort. Most people who don't love themselves think it's not even worth trying. But it is. Because if you do want to get better, you do have to try. Now, making an effort, very ironically, means cutting yourself some slack. You need to make an effort to see that you are doing enough. And even if it's not enough for anyone else, it's enough for you, and that is enough. Fourthly, this is the most difficult according to me, talk. Talk to anyone you feel comfortable with, but you have to talk. And fifth, I have a favor to ask you. The next time you look at yourself in the mirror and insult yourself, say, why are my eyebrows so bushy? Or why do I have a double chin? Why am I so fat? Why am I so ugly? I need you to add one more question. Would you ask these questions to anybody else? If instead of your reflection standing in front of you was your sister, your parent, the person sitting next to you, would you ask them why they were so ugly? Why their eyebrows are so bushy? Why their nose is so big? No, you wouldn't, because it's not socially acceptable to go around bringing other people down. Then what makes it acceptable for you to bring yourself down like that? I'll tell you, it's not. It's not acceptable. I have finally realized that I have been blessed with the body and soul that I am in. And I have an extremely loving family, the best sister, the most loving parents, and the friends who will never ever stop caring for me. I want to end with an African proverb that says, when there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm. Thank you.